Good evening. Good evening. And welcome to the 51st episode of Downtime Podcast. Alyssa, how are you?
Doing alright. If the sound is different on my end, I'm on my work laptop currently. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a late Wednesday evening for us, so so let's get into it. What have you been playing so far?
Okay, so I played Detroit Become Human, the demo.
Saw that? How's it?
For one, I thoroughly enjoyed it because I like playing this type of game. And also, since I played Heavy Rain before, I knew right on how to play this game and how finding items and really being a completionist is a really important thing for these types of games.
This is a David Cage game, right?
This is a David Cage game, yes.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
I had a feeling it was.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. Part of the fun of this game is, you don't have to be a completionist. You could technically find, 0 clues, or find half of the clues, and you could still go on with the story. And the beauty of Detroit, and just Quantic Dream games, is that the player choices determine a different ending and a different path. But there's straight up 20 paths that you could possibly get in the end.
That's cool.
That's
awesome.
I remember back in high school when I platinumed Heavy Rain, there were a lot of endings that I had to do that I didn't even think were possible. And obviously, when you play the actual game, so the demo only has one featured player. His name's Connor, one of the androids, and his name's Connor. And then the actual game has 3 characters. And, for example, at any point, you can be, just halfway through the game, and one of your characters could die, and they'll be permanently dead. For the next half of the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, that was a thing with Heavy Rain, too, where, you had 4 characters to play off of, and one character could straight up die early already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Weren't there, 18 different endings for Heavy Rain?
Yeah, something like that, 18, 20. There were a lot of endings.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I actually, it was, so, I guess, when I first played Heavy Rain, because I've been a completionist for a long time, so it was really important for me to, try and get as many of the objects as possible, so I actually think the first time I played Heavy Rain, I got what you would call the perfect ending, and meaning that this was, the highest possible success ending that you could get.
Like a good ending?
It was a good ending when you weigh it. And then good. It was funny because what's nice about platinuming that game was that you didn't have to start from the beginning. You can just start at the chapter and that you need to, for example, find a different clue or choose a different answer to a question to steer you in a different direction for your ending. And since I got the good ending from the beginning, progressively getting to the worst endings, I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize how depressing this game was if I chose a different thing. Granted, the game is pretty sad already, but I genuinely think that previously playing that game, it affected my experience, the fact that I got a pretty decent good ending. If I got a bad ending in my first playthrough, I honestly don't know how I would have felt about that game in the end.
Did you platinum Heavy Rain?
Oh, I platinumed Heavy Rain.
So, since you play the demo for Detroit, are you gonna buy it when it comes out, the full game?
I've been planning on buying Detroit for quite some time. The demo actually solidified for me that I'm definitely going to buy the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There's a lot more depth to the clue finding than there was, because than in Heavy Rain because they're dealing with androids and more advanced technology. So in the demo there's actually a part where, like, say there's like a crime scene and there's 3 clues in the crime scene total. At any point, by the way, you can exit the crime scene and not find all the clues. You see, that's one of the things where it's like, it's up to the player whether they want to go through this entire process or not. So you can find all 3 clues, or you could just not find any at all and just completely ignore that. And then, it's crazy because since, Robo Android Cop, programming, if say you found all the 3 clues of the specific scene, it actually has a mechanic called reconstruct where you can reenact the crime scene.
Ooh, so it's the future.
Yeah, the future. So very futuristic. It's very fleshed out in that way, which I think is a good thing. I like it.
Cool.
It's something more than to what Heavy Rain was previously.
Right. And I think that's really cool because obviously each iteration of a game, even if it's not a sequel, should build upon its predecessors and make it somewhat better or unique in its own way.
Exactly. And I think that this demo so far did a really good job at doing that.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, I have a kind of fangirl moment.
Oh?
Real quick.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
So, I posted on my Instagram that I just finished the demo. And then this guy comments on and I hashtagged it Detroit. And this guy comments on it, and he goes, Did you save the fish, by the way? And it's a reference to the demo and the scene that I specifically played with, where you pass by a fish tank and there's a fish on the ground.
Okay.
And straight up, one of the options is save the fish, like put it back in its tank, or ignore it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny like that. So I saved the fish because I just did everything.
Yeah, of course.
Because why not? And then the guy who commented that, I go to his Instagram, and he's actually the voice actor for Connor, one of the 3 main characters of Detroit.
No fucking way.
So he actually commented on my Instagram, and I even
Really?
screenshotted it.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it's actually him. His name's Brian Deschart. And I knew that the game was basing the faces of their characters off of the actual voice actor. But it's crazy when I went to his actual Instagram, I was like, "Oh wow. They did an excellent job here." Yeah.
That's cool.
So that was really exciting. And that's all I have to say about Detroit.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're loving it so far. I mean, please update us as you go along.
The good news is the demo was straight up only 17 minutes for me to complete. So that's it.
Well,
you
you saved that fish in that 17 minutes.
Yes. Save that fish. That's it for at least 2 weeks. The game comes out on the 25th.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope that if you do buy it, please update us. We'd love to hear more about it.
Will do. What are you playing right now?
I'm straight up only playing Yakuza 6. I'm super dedicated to that game. And before I go into it, I will mention that Alyssa and I did a very special playthrough of the game last week. If you're listening to the podcast this week or the week after, I'll make a post on the blog. If you go to Downtime.Live, look for the Yakuza 6 playthrough where Alyssa and I sit down together in person and we record ourselves playing the first hour or so of Yakuza 6. The beginning is a little slow because it's just us like chatting, and then there's just like 40 minutes of cutscenes. But towards the end is when it gets better, and we actually do start doing stuff. Like I start playing arcade games, and Lisa starts playing karaoke.
Yes.
Yeah, and all we're doing all of this while drinking Japanese whiskey that I bought from Japan in January, in the special premium edition glasses, which are awesome, with the little little ice stones in it too, which is a nice touch. And we're eating a large, platter of tempura while doing all of this. So yeah, come check the video out. I'll make a post on the blog about it, and you guys should come check it out at Downtime.Live. Are you still eating the tempura that you got, or did you finish all of it?
Oh, I finished it.
Yeah, I demolished it. It's so good. Yeah, no, so I'm still playing Yakuza 6. I don't want to get into too many spoilers since I know you're going to start playing that soon after you finish 5. I don't know about soon, but after you finish 5. So, I will say that I'm in this part of I'm on chapter 6, so I'm halfway through as far as I know.
Yeah, there's like 13 chapters or so, right? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 because there's 12 and there's like an epilogue. So, yeah, so I'm halfway through. It's getting pretty juicy so far, like really juicy.
Do you know who the baby daddy is?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize you find out that soon. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe we have found the father.
Ah.
But it gets spicy. It is really juicy, and I don't want to go on from there because I want you to experience it, and I want you to tell me after you play it.
Nice. Okay.
But I will talk about a sub story that I thought was hilarious that they added. The sub story is called Like, Comment, and Subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And it's Kiryu meets a YouTuber.
Oh, that's amazing. Way to be
straight up.
Way to be current.
Yeah, it's very current. And
are they mukbang?
The guy No. It's a dude. He's literally standing in Theater Square and he has a selfie stick with a phone attached and he's talking to the camera. Like, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty on point too. So the way he talks to the camera is very akin to a lot of Japanese YouTubers in Japanese, because of course all the voice actors are Japanese. So he's speaking to the camera like he's speaking Japanese, like he's like a Japanese YouTuber. I follow a couple Japanese YouTubers and they talk exactly like he does.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like this is really on point. But the best part is the subtitles, the localization team. Honestly, shout out to you guys. You guys are awesome because the way they portrayed him, and I don't want to spoil too much, was awesome. Because there's a point where there's 3 segments to his sub story. There's a segment where he goes to Yoshida batting cages and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm here at Yoshida batting cages. We're gonna see if I can hit the fastest balls of the world." And then a ball comes out at blinding speeds and hits him in the forehead, and he's like, "Oh, that hurts! Oh my god, that hurts so badly. Let's do it again." And Kiryu's like yeah, I know. Yeah, Kiryu's standing off to the side like, what the hell is this guy doing? Is he serious? And then another ball comes flying at this YouTuber and hits him straight in the balls. And he's on the ground, like, keeling over, like, "Oh my god, that hurts so much." He's like, "Did you guys see that?" And then Kiryu's like, he's really serious.
Oh my god.
And then one of the workers of the batting cages comes out. He's like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing out here? You got to get out of here. You're not supposed to be out here." And he's like, "I got to get the shot." It's so funny. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." And this is probably one of my favorite sub stories in this game so far.
Nice.
So yeah, no, I just want to give a shout out to the localization team for really like capturing what it's like to be. Well, not what it's like, but like the essence of a YouTuber in a video game, like a Japanese YouTuber, because the dialogue was on point. Like the subtitles were like Terrace House quality on point.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, or even better. Like the localization team for Sega in the United States is really, really good.
I mean,
like they're very interactive with the audience too.
I mean, think about the amount of dialogue that they had to translate. That's like about an 80-hour experience of translating.
Right?
Yeah, so you gotta be dedicated to some extent.
After translating for Terrace House on my end, like the Terrace House that we did, holy shit, dude. Like, I would not be able to do a game. Like, a movie is hard in itself. Like, we spent like at least 24 hours translating that.
Yeah.
An 80-hour game? Like, no, I don't know if I could do that. That's insane.
It's interesting. Like, say, like you're an English major, or like you're an international relations major, and like in college or in high school, you just so happen you're required to learn another language, and then all of a sudden, like and it's a job that people don't think about, but you could be a translator.
Yeah, no, it translating pays really good money depending on the kind of work that you go into for translating.
Yeah.
So honestly, like it's a good field. Like everyone thinks that translating is a hard job, which it is, but any job is a hard job if you think about it. And translate if you have a knack, if you're bilingual and you have a knack for it, like honestly, do the world a favor, like translate stuff, translate anything. Like just like people are gonna watch or read it, so please do it.
Yeah, I was about to say that, like, especially because of globalization, people want translated TV shows and video games and movies, and actually, like, really random plug, but I think it pays a little bit to do amateur translating too on certain websites that will broadcast international dramas. So,
Yes, that's true.
but yeah.
Yeah, no. So again, huge shout out to the localization team at Sega because they're releasing Yakuza Kiwami 2 at the end of this year, and that game only came out at the end of last year, December 2017, I think. So the fact that it's releasing so soon is mind-boggling to me because they just came off of 6, and 6 came out 2 years ago. So
Yes.
the fact that it took them 2 years to translate this game, and it's only taking them less than a year to translate the next game after it, like, wow, like they stepped up their game hard.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that like the Yakuza fans, like we're all hungry for more Yakuza content. So obviously we're gonna buy the shit out of that game. So my advice to all the fans are, play Yakuza, and we'll actually talk about something special later regarding Yakuza, right?
Yes.
So at the end of the podcast, we'll mention it. But yeah, honestly, play the Yakuza games. The only way that we're going to get more is if you vote with your dollar and buy Yakuza 0, start there, buy Yakuza Kiwami, and then you can choose to buy any of the other games for PS3 if you happen to own a PS3. And yeah, no, buy 6, play it on PS4. Like you can actually catch up from the main menu of 6 from all the different games, and you just play 6 like normally.
Yep.
So I think it's really cool. Although I will say that they don't feature 0 on the menu screen for 6. So I'm like, okay. So I think it's because they want you to play 0, which honestly, 0 is a packed game. And I can't stress that enough. And we've mentioned this so many times on the podcast before. Yakuza 0 is stacked. There's so much stuff to do in Yakuza 0. So also replayability is high for Yakuza 0.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, definitely check that out. And that's all I am playing right now. Yakuza 6.
Nice. You can get you can get a chicken. You can befriend a chicken in Yakuza 0. Just saying.
Yeah, and that chicken can run your real estate
agency.
Yeah. It just says cluck cluck. I'm like, oh my god. Because there's usually a little description of the character, and the character just says cluck cluck for the chicken. I'm like, really? And the chicken's actually a good real estate agent for your set. So get that chicken.
Yes.
But it's really hard to get that. It is kind of hard to get that chicken though.
Definitely.
It's like what, 10 strikes at the bowling alley?
Yeah, you gotta get a turkey.
Yep, but they give you a chicken. I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, so should we go into E3 leaks?
Yeah.
Because they're a leaky machine right now.
So, it's been weird for E3. Granted, it's about to come out in less than a month, so obviously the rumors are going to come out. But, so there's a few plot twists here. Plot twist number 1. Walmart posted up a they were listing different games and placeholders for releases that are coming out in the future. And
yep,
some of these freaking releases include Borderlands 3 and Just Cause 4 and was Battlefield 5 announced in that leak too? Or
no, it was not.
No.
Well, it was. I think I don't know actually, but yeah.
There was
sure.
Gears of War 5, I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just like weird because it's like, what the heck? Of all things, Walmart.
Yeah. All right. So someone fucked up at Walmart, and they
Yeah.
probably got fired. Let's be honest.
So that
Like
was
shit, dude.
that was amazing. I was like, wow, who would have thought Walmart like taking it for the team?
Right? Of all the companies,
I know.
Walmart.
That being said, oh my god, there's a Borderlands 3 coming out. I mean, anyone could have guessed that was eventually going to happen, but it's happening. So,
I'm excited.
it's hilarious because I think the one of the directors of Borderlands 3 had to make an announcement and was like, Borderlands 3 is not going to be at E3.
yeah. You're like, whoa, everyone calm your shit.
I know. I'm just like, oh, okay then.
Like, way to shoot down our hopes and dreams.
I know.
But hey, you know what? That's fine. The fact that he said it, does that confirm it? I don't think so, but it's probably going to come out. It's probably going to be announced at E3, but it will not be like shown in any extensive capacity.
Yeah. I don't even know if Gearbox is attending E3.
I don't think so.
Because if they're not, then it really won't be announced. But if they are gonna attend, it's gonna be like, I guess, okay.
Yeah, like we got leaked out, so do y'all still got room?
Yeah. And then on top of other leaks, Nintendo has actually quite a few leaks that just happened yesterday.
Yeah, Nintendo. See, Nintendo's usually tight-lipped about what they talk about, but for some reason, they got leaked out. So, some of the games that were leaked were Punch-Out!, which I'm surprised. Metroid, that we already knew about that. Fire Emblem, Yoshi's Island, Star Fox. I was like, holy shit, Star Fox. F-Zero. And then, there was some cover art leaked for the 2 new Pokemon games that are coming out for the Switch.
Yeah, which...
Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So apparently these are mainline Pokemon games, but they're different from what you're used to. They're not named after a jewel or anything like that or a color. They're like, I don't know what they are, to be honest, but I'm excited to find out.
So according to some articles, Pokemon Pikachu is going to be closely related to kind of like a spiritual remake of Pokemon Yellow, but it's going to have the Pokemon Go capability of it, which makes me want, and it's going to be on Switch though. But it also makes me wonder, I wonder if Niantic's actually working on this, because that would be quite interesting.
Right.
It's been a long time since I played a Pokemon game, but God, I love Eevee. Eevee's like one of the best Pokemon. So versatile.
The fact that the 150 originals are still so relevant with all these other Pokemon added onto it is astounding to me because Eevee's so cute.
Eevee can turn into a Flareon, which is my favorite Pokemon of all time. So,
ooh, there you go.
I know.
There you go, people. You heard it. Send your Flareon fan art to Alyssa.
Yes. But yeah, that's gonna be. I'm curious what that is. So Nintendo will have quite an interesting E3 to talk about.
Absolutely. So we'll see if these rumors are true, which they probably are.
Oh yeah, they're true.
Yeah. Which means there's a deeper hole in my wallet because I want to buy all this stuff. See, the only thing they didn't talk about was Animal Crossing, and that's the number one game that I want to buy so badly on my Switch. But maybe it'll be announced. Maybe that's the one thing that Nintendo didn't get leaked out. But
maybe.
We'll see. I mean, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for whatever Nintendo's going to talk about. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Nintendo's press conference at E3.
Yeah, same here.
Can't believe it's next month too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I still can't believe I attended it last year, but
yeah, no, I can't believe that either.
I know, but I'm not attending it this year just because I have other work obligations. But
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm really excited to read up on everything that happens and watch the live streams. So.
Yeah, likewise. So we'll both be keeping up to news, and we did last year, we're going to do a little E3 podcast breakdown, but also we'll talk about it before E3 happens, we'll talk about it after E3. Maybe, hell, we might even do a podcast during E3. Yeah. Who knows?
I have a good feeling about this E3 because I felt that because I've been watching E3 for a while, and I've been feeling that the past 2 years of E3 have not necessarily been new announcements. but they've been games that have been already announced, and it's just providing more demos on it.
Right.
But,
and yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm feeling more positive because this year, a lot of those games have finally come out. And I'm like, all right, so now we got a new playground.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, to me, E3 was always a place of announcements and not really a place of, like, this is what we've been working on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bunch of sales that lead up to Black Friday, and all the sales on Black Friday were all the sales that were already happening before. It's like, why did I have to wait for this day? I could have just bought them before that.
Exactly.
So that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, while I am happy that we get to see more of games, like, come on, Kingdom Hearts, like, come on, just give us a release date, you know? Like, it's like, that's the only thing that's gonna come out of that is, like, a release date, right? But other than that, I mean, yeah, right?
I don't know about that.
No, to be honest, I don't have high hopes for anything crazy gonna be announced. Like, I want to see more Ghost of Tsushima. I want to see a release date for Shenmue. Like, just give me stuff that I already know. Just give me some peace of mind.
Well,
we'll see.
I will say this though about Kingdom Hearts. Utada Hikaru just announced that the theme song for Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to drop on June 27th.
I did not hear about that, and thank you for telling me. I'm getting hyped.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's it for the E3 leaks, I believe, and you can always post on the Discord or shoot us an email or shoot us a comment if we missed any E3 news.
Oh yeah, one more thing I want to talk about E3 was Trevor Noah. Well, it's not really E3 related, but Trevor Noah on his Twitter made a little video of Battlefield 5. He basically talked about how he's going to host the EA event or Battlefield event.
Yeah.
And that at the end of the video, he held up a little mug he was drinking coffee out of or whatever, and it had a V symbol on it. Now, all the fanboys freaked out, and I'm like, all right, cool, that's cool. Like, Battlefield 5, I've been a Battlefield fan, but not like a diehard one. So this is pretty exciting because I'm excited to see where they take the series now. I mean, to be honest, I'm always a fan of like wherever, like it's like the Assassin's Creed franchise. Mm-hmm. I like the settings that they go in, but I'm not necessarily a fan of the games.
Yeah.
With Battlefield, it's an EA property, so of course when you think of EA, you think of microtransactions and the whole Star Wars fiasco. So people are actually not pre-ordering the game just yet, or whenever those are announced. I don't expect a lot of people to pre-order it because they learned last time. Well, I mean, like, let's put it this way: the people who were aware of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 fiasco will probably not pre-order it. But those who are not aware of it are probably still going to pre-order the game anyways because they don't care. They love Battlefield, and more power to you. Vote with your wallet. But there's a lot of speculation about Battlefield 5 either being in World War II, which would be like an answer to Call of Duty's World War II call, because Call of Duty went back to World War II. What if Battlefield went back to World War II? Which
there's
I don't mind.
I don't necessarily think there's too many World War II games. I think there's too many World War II games happening at once.
Yeah, that was an issue before. It's like the whole zombie thing.
Yeah.
There was a whole phase when everyone was making World War II games, and then now there was a phase when everyone was making zombie games. Now everyone's making Battle Royale games, so...
Yeah.
It's just like... I don't mind if there's another World War II game. I don't mind revisiting... I don't mind playing that series again in that time period, because everyone's thinking it's it's the V symbol because the Winston Churchill, the whole like V for victory, the peace sign.
I see.
With, so people think it's because of that, but there's others that are speculating it's Vietnam. Battlefield V5 for Vietnam.
Wow.
V for Vietnam.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean that would be cool too. To be honest, like honestly, a new Battlefield game. That it's pretty cool to me. I might buy this one if it's World War II, to be honest. So we'll see.
I did not read. Okay, so I don't play Battlefield, obviously. So this entire time, when you were telling me V, I thought it was the Roman numeral for 5.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Oh.
That's what they mean too.
Oh.
So it has multiple meanings, obviously.
I see.
Aside from being the 5th mainline game. Technically it's the 6th, but it is the 5th mainline game.
Got it.
It could be V. It is V for 5, but it could be V for victory for the peace sign, or it could be V for Vietnam. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
We'll find out. We'll find out more on May 23rd. I think is when the press conference is.
All right.
So I talked a little bit about whiskey earlier, how we drank Japanese whiskey during the special playthrough of Yakuza 6.
Yes.
And I told you, Alyssa, this, was it yesterday or 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
It was 2 days ago. Wow, I can't believe it's been so long. So Alyssa and I drink Japanese whiskey. Right now, Suntory is in the process of stopping the production and selling of 2 of their whiskeys. One is called Hakushu 12-year. It's a 12-year aged whiskey, and the other one is Hibiki 17-year, which is a 17-year aged whiskey. And they're both very smooth whiskeys. I've had both before, and the Hakushu 12-year is actually my favorite Japanese whiskey of all time. And when they announced that it was going out of circulation, I enacted really quickly. Like, a mutual friend told me that, hey, like, did you hear on the news that Hakushu was going out of sale? And I was like, holy shit, I need to go grab some. So that morning, I was checking around different liquor stores in downtown San Francisco, and I saw that Bevmo had it on Van Ness Station. Not Van Ness Station, on Van Ness. The Bevmo there carried 8 in stock, and that was gone in like 10 minutes.
Wow.
So people were like jumping on it. And then I asked around, I called up a bunch of other places, and then one person recommended me a store called Cask in the Rincon Center in downtown San Francisco. Shout out to them, because they carried 8 in stock, and I bought one.
Hey, shout
and I was
out
like,
to
oh,
Rincon
thank you, you guys
Center.
are right. So that was pretty sweet. And then after I bought it, I was having lunch with my coworkers, and then one of my coworkers was like, hey, you should buy 2 more, because I was telling her that I had this dilemma when I was like, I want to drink it, but I also want to keep it. I don't want to open it. And she's like, you should buy 2 more, one to sell, one to keep, because in the future, I mean, it's going to go up in price. Like, this is not going to be available for the next 12 years.
Yeah.
Like, the Hakushu 12-year will stop selling next month in June of this year.
Yeah.
And the Hibiki 17 will stop selling in September of this year. So I bought 2 more, so I have 3 total.
Nice.
So I'll be drinking 1, keeping 1, and selling 1. So if anyone is interested, I will sell you this bottle.
You know what's really random and
12-year.
crazy to me? It's basically telling people, hey, so you know that whiskey I told you takes 12 years to age? Well, we're running out. So you gotta wait another 12 years, by the way.
That's honestly what's happening, and it's real. It's insane. It's like the stupidest thing, but also like it's also the craziest thing, because you literally have to wait 12 years for another batch to come out.
Yeah.
Like we'll be 36. Oh no, not 36. What am I saying? We'll be 38
My God.
when that comes out. So maybe we'll have kids. You know, maybe we'll be married. Who knows? The future's in our hands. But no, it's Japan's literally in a whiskey shortage. And to give some brief history, it's because in 2014 there was a TV drama that came out citing one of the founders of Japanese whiskey, and then at the same time, the Yamazaki 18-year was given world recognition for being one of the smoothest whiskeys in the world. I had the pleasure of drinking the 12 and the 18-year from the Yamazaki, and those are very, very good, although they are not my favorites, despite their recognition. So yeah, around that time, Japanese whiskey started to blow up, and it became this like kind of hipster, snobby thing to own one or to talk about it, to drink it, to just to bask in it. And I thought it was the dumbest thing ever until I tasted one, and I was like, holy shit! No wonder everyone loves it. Now, if you go to any bar, any high end bar, any like mid tier bar, even some of the lower end bars,
how much a glass is gonna be in the future? Oh lord!
Oh my god, yeah, glasses now are already expensive.
I know.
Like, if you go to any high end, mid tier, or even lower tier bar, you'll still see bottles of Japanese whiskey hanging there. And I remember my girlfriend and I went to a bar on top of the Hilton downtown San Francisco, Cityscape bar, and a glass of Hakushu 12 year, I remember this very fondly, was $18.
Yeah.
A glass.
That is
just a glass. And the bottle itself is $85. And I mean, I'd rather just buy the bottle at that point because I would want more anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, to your point, it's going to be super expensive.
Oh, totally.
In the future. And I'm not looking forward to that because, I mean, like I just talked about, whiskey snobs, people who talk about whiskey all the time. Like, I don't want to talk about whiskey all the time because although it is something I love and it's something I'm still a novice in and I'm starting to get into, Japanese whiskey is great. And I think it's, I can't say it's underrated because it already has world renown, but I like it a lot. And I'm not going to say that I am not a fan and I'm not a hater. I love it, and I think it's great. But I will say that my favorite Scotch in the world, because Japanese whiskey is in itself based a lot on a lot of European flavors and tastes. My favorite Scotch in the world is Lafroig 10 year. That is still my number one, and it doesn't come close to the Japanese ones. So there you go. But it's actually kind of funny. Lafroig itself is owned by a Japanese company, which is
the monopolization of whiskey.
Right. So, yeah, long story short, Suntory bought Jim Beam. Jim Beam is an American company, Kentucky owned? Or
I have no idea.
Started in Kentucky?
I have no
it's okay.
idea.
No, I'm... Yeah, I had to read out about this because I was so confused why Suntory owned Lafroig, like a Scottish company, like a Japanese company owned a Scottish company. So yeah, no, Jim Beam bought Lafroig like in 2011, and then in 2014 Suntory bought Jim Beam, and that's why they also own Lafroig. So tying it back to Yakuza, the reason why that you can find real life Scotch and whiskey, European and Japanese, in Yakuza 6 and all Yakuza games is because Suntory was the only beverage company that allowed product placement in the Yakuza games. Because every other game in the Yakuza series, every other company in the Yakuza series that the producers of the Yakuza game reached out to, they didn't want their products listed in the game because they didn't like the nature of the game. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Because the game is about organized crime in Japan and it's kind of a touchy subject. But Suntory was like, you know what? You can list our drinks in there. It's fine. You can put Lafroig. You can put Hibiki. You could put our stuff in there. They even have like the Boss coffee in all of the vending machines, which I thought was a really nice touch because I do like Boss coffee a lot. The little canned coffees. So, yeah, that's my Hakushu whiskey story. I bought 3 bottles of my favorite whiskey.
Very nice.
And I spent over $200 on it. Oh my god, I'm crying a little bit, but I like that whiskey a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it's a justified purchase. Yeah. So did you want to go into our other Yakuza special thing, or should we go into comments? We only have one comment.
So I actually have one news announcement to make that I totally realized that I read, but I forgot to talk about yet. Oh yeah. So
let's do it.
So PlayStation actually announced that by the end of this year, or like more like February 2019. So by February 2019, they're going to stop production of physical games for the PS Vita, meaning that you cannot buy physical copies of PS Vita games anymore after February 2019.
I'll be honest, I didn't even know they still made PS Vita games.
So this is like the interesting trajectory of PS Vita, because I actually still play my Vita because, and it's weird. So The PSP was actually really popular and really good internationally, both in Japan and in the United States for quite some time. And then PS Vita came out, and it also came out at the same time as the Nintendo 3DS. And then the biggest issue with the PS Vita is that a lot of the hard copy games required a very specific type of memory card. It's like how iPhone has a specific type of charger.
I don't remember that because I owned a 3DS at the time, so that's probably why I didn't really think about PlayStation's Vita at the time.
Yeah, it's just odd because after so much support for the PSP, they didn't support the next PS Vita. And you'd think that it's kind of a no-brainer that, hey, a handheld is actually a really good idea for certain type of titles. Like I feel, in my opinion, I feel like the handheld is a really perfect thing if you're playing a long game.
I agree.
It's like an excellent idea. So
honestly, I think the Switch right now is a near perfect console because you can dock it and play it on your TV, or you can just carry it with you and play wherever.
Yeah.
And so that's to your point. Like honestly, if you're playing something like Xenoblade Chronicles or Breath of the Wild, and you don't want to sit at home and play it, or you have to go somewhere, taking the bus or the train, just take it with you. It's great.
A lot of JRPGs specifically were hopping onto this console and this handheld. One of them specifically being Persona 4 Golden, the remake of the PlayStation 2 game. It's weird because I don't think Sony is going to have a handheld or is going to try to compete with the Switch. But it's weird to me because obviously they're not afraid of competition. Their console competes with Microsoft. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, obviously they're scared of losing out to Nintendo, but it's just kind of like, well, I mean, then you just gotta be better than Nintendo, just like you do with the regular console, you know? And it's just weird because PlayStation has all the tools.
I thought it was cool because my roommate also had a Vita, and my past roommate, and he was able to play Destiny on his Vita via his PlayStation 4.
Yes, you can use it as a controller.
So I thought that was really cool because he could play it from anywhere. Like one time he was away back in his hometown, and I was sitting in our apartment, and I just heard his PS4 whir up, and then it just came on, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he texted me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing Destiny." I'm like, "Oh, okay, what does that mean?"
Yeah.
But he told me after. But no, I think it's like the fact that the Vita could do that is really cool. You know, like the fact because not everyone owns both a Vita and a PS4, but if you do own both, more power to you.
I think Sony's gonna invest in the VR headset route now versus the handheld, which is kind of unfortunate. I think that if they weren't trying to be so special with certain parts of the PS Vita that made it more expensive, it would have been more successful.
No, I agree. I agree that they honestly should. They're probably still going to stick with doing VR stuff because that's where the market is right now. Although, yeah, no one. It seems like no one really wants to touch where Nintendo's going with their handheld stuff. Also, the fact that Nintendo has so many exclusives and also other games you can play on the Switch, you can play on the PS4 and Xbox, so it gives more reason to buy a Switch for some users since you can play Skyrim and Doom and alongside Dark Souls and Mario Kart, all these other stuff. So it's like, why Nintendo is still one of the big three, but now they have the big three titles, which is great.
Yeah.
All
right. So to end the podcast, we have a special announcement, and
wait, before that, one comment from Hooded Dude.
Yes.
We have one comment from Hooded Dude. Shout out to Hooded Dude. You're awesome. Thanks for always commenting on our stuff and joining our Discord. Join our Discord, by the way. We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
He commented on podcast 50, Hall of Fame podcast, and he said, the conversation about the girl videos at the 16-minute mark in Yakuza 0 was hilarious. But they're longer. Oh my god. That was a reference to what I was telling Alyssa last time. Basically, there are there's like, you can go to an internet cafe in Yakuza 6 and live chat, quote unquote, with these girls, and they basically strip down to almost nothing. And the videos in Yakuza 0, the videos in Yakuza 0 are of the girls wearing like bikinis and swimsuits, and they're just like smiling and winking at the camera.
Yeah.
But the videos in Yakuza 6 are much longer, and yeah, they're also porn stars. that was the comment that I made. And why do I know that? I did my research. I looked up facts about the game, Alyssa. I'm all right. I'm curious. Okay, maybe I looked up their names. Maybe I did.
Okay.
Just to see what Google would search. Maybe it was Bing. That I looked it up.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not. Look, okay. Hey, I'm a man. All right. Okay. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Yeah, you're judging me. I could feel your voice judging me.
Oh no! Why would you think that?
All right, we're done with this. We're done with this comment. Thank you,
yes,
dude.
Thank you, dude. As always.
You're solid. Keep on keeping on, man.
All right. So I actually have. So Jeremy and I have a special announcement. If you listen to the podcast, I want to say maybe 4 episodes ago, you'll find out that I actually have a Steelbook copy of Yakuza Kiwami on me that I didn't actually want because I own the game digitally. And we officially now have set up a giveaway for Yakuza Kiwami.
Yeah. So if you own a PS4 and have not played any Yakuza games, or you just played 0 and you're looking to get Kiwami, or if you just want Kiwami because it's a good ass game and it's got a really cool steelbox cover, enter this competition.
Yes. Yeah, so we have it posted on the website, Downtime.Live. It's on Twitter. It's on our Twitter. Really, we don't really have many like guidelines to entering the contest, but if you want a copy of Yakuza Kiwami, there's a few things that you have to do.
So the first one is you must join our Discord server, which is awesome because we want to talk to you guys. Again, I can't stress that enough. Discord is so cool. It's a really cool platform that I wish was around 10 years ago. But I'm happy it's around now. Please give us like the best way to get a hold of you. Gotta provide your first full name and then your last name and address that we can mail it to you.
Actually, let's do email first, and if they win, then we'll get their contact info. Let's just get email. Sorry. So let's get email address first, and then yes.
Tell us if you're a new or old Yakuza fan. Tell us what your favorite song is in the Yakuza series, if you have one, and if you have a question for us as hosts that we can answer on the podcast.
Yes.
And the full guidelines will all be available on the website, as Alyssa mentioned before. And so I'll be posting it on my Instagram, and we'll be posting it on Twitter, as we said before. So just an announcement that, hey, if you want to get a copy of this game, let us know. You don't have to have a PS4 to own this game. Let's be clear. If you just want this game, and you found out about it through us, good on you. And I hope that you're listening to the podcast and that you just don't want a free game from us. I hope that you actually do listen to the podcast. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Then I'll pay for shipping. So this is like the easiest giveaway ever. Easy to join.
Yeah. Anything else, Alyssa, before we close out? Besides, Downtime.Live. Make sure you go to our website.
Oh,
Downtime.Live.
The giveaway is on Downtime.Live.
Yes, that's our website. Just go to www.downtime.live and you'll see the blog. You can click on all the header links above to go to our podcast. Check us out on SoundCloud. Check us out on iTunes, Stitcher.
And like any platform that has podcasts, we're probably on it, except for Spotify, because Spotify is very difficult to get on. But
and if you do get on there, good for you.
But but also, if you had fun listening to this podcast, listen to episode 52 that is posted at the same time as this, and we do a special episode interview with Benjamin Rivers, who is a kind of like a one-man independent game developer from Canada. So
Awesome.
Go ahead and listen to that after this episode. This has been the 51st episode of Downtime Podcast. Have a good night.
Later.